Good morning. Welcome back to my somewhat of a YouTube channel. I say that because I don't have that many subscribers. But my, New Year's resolution was to be a little more diligent on doing vlogs, I guess. So that's what I'm doing. I am headed out now to go to my mom's and visit my mom and my sister, and my sister's wanting me to pick up one of my nephews, and we're going to meet my sister for lunch and have some lunch and I guess do whatever else is after that. And so I'm going to stop and I was going to stop and top off my tank, but I don't think it necessarily needs just above half a tank. But sorry about the hand. Anyway, I have a little above half a tank. I have more than enough to do an hour and a half drive to my mom's. But I'd like to stop and get a drink, so I don't know, I may get the gas and get a drink also. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to get gas. There is this little country store from here, in between here and where I hit the freeway to head to mom's. So I think I'll just stop there. They have gas there, but you know, I don't really trust those little country stores on their gas. So I'll just stop there and get a drink and then hit the road. So I don't know if anybody that has pets probably feel the same way as I do. You hate leaving your pets, and because they're like your kids. And Tommy left out early this morning to go to his mom's. He's going to be there a couple of days to take down all her Christmas decorations. He goes and puts them up, and then he goes back and takes them down. So, but just, you know, leaving your pets home for more than just a couple hours, I know with me, it bothers me because, you know, they just act like they're just so worried that you're never coming back, and just makes you feel bad, hurts your feelings a little bit that you're leaving them, especially when you're going to be going all day to work, or like today I'm going to be gone the biggest part of the day and they're going to be home alone. And I mean, they have a doggy door, they're going to go outside. Sorry if this is bouncing like crazy, which it probably is, but anyway. But they have a doggy door, they can go in and out of the house all day long, anytime they want. So it's not like they're trapped inside the house and can't do anything. But it still just makes you feel bad, especially with one of our dogs. He gets a little whiny. If he sees that you're putting on clothes, then he knows that you're probably leaving and going somewhere. So he gets a little whiny, he gets a little needy, gets a little lovey. So it really makes me feel bad when he does all that. But I know I'm not hurting. It's not hurting them. You know, it's life. You have to leave. It's like if you have kids, you got to leave them at school. You got to leave them at daycare. You got to leave them at a babysitter. It's just, you have things to do that you just can't take your babies or your fur babies with you. And I would love to take mine with me. Me and Tommy both would love to be able to take them places with us. Soot is a really good dog. He's really good about traveling. Once you get on the road, he will lay down and sleep pretty much the whole time. Todd, on the other hand, is, I guess I'm his favorite dad, because if I'm around, he just wants to be next to me the whole time. So he really wants to be in my lap, even if I'm driving, and it just makes it hard to drive when you've got a dog in your lap, as anyone knows that's tried to drive with a dog in their lap. And he just doesn't lay in one spot. He likes to move around, and try to find a comfortable spot in your lap as you're trying to drive. It just gets annoying. You know, he wants to sit over in Tommy's lap, or if it's just the empty passenger seat, he won't just sit over there and lay down. He wants to be in your lap, and he gets a little whiny. So he's not a good co-pilot. So we don't take them anywhere. You know, about the only time they go for a ride is when they're going to the vet or going to the groomers. We have taken them to the dog park a few times, but you know, they're good with other animals. They don't try to fight or anything like that, but they don't try to play either. They're just kind of, I'm just going to sniff around everywhere and tinkle on everything. And so it's just, we figured take them to a dog park. They'll want to play and have a good time with other dogs. No, they don't want to be bothered. It's still them two running around with each other, and it's just pretty much just sniffing everything like dogs do. And so we don't take them to the dog park anymore. And then there's not really one that's close to us since we've moved to where we're at now. But even if there was, we still wouldn't take them. You know, I guess they get enough exercise just getting out, you know, out in our backyard, even though our backyard is pretty much just a pool and concrete. So there's not a ton of running around space for them, but I've seen them run around the pool, and so I think that's plenty of exercise. And again, they don't act like they're not getting enough exercise. You know, again, they have that doggy door, and they can come and go as they please. And especially if it's sunny, Todd will get out and lay out in the sun. So not for the most part, he doesn't. He's a black dog, so I guess the heat probably gets to him a little quicker than it does Todd, because Todd is a blonde colored dog. But anyway, you know, they have access to the outside to run around, and they pretty much rather stay inside the house. Even if Tommy and I are outside, hanging out in the pool when it's pool season, they don't hang out there. They stay inside. So, but I think they get plenty of exercise. We have a big house, so they can run back and forth in the house and then outside also. So they're not lacking on exercise. But the house we lived in before had a massive backyard with no pool, a massive backyard, and they didn't get out and knit that often. Again, they'd get out there, run a little bit, and come back in. Just being outside is just not their thing. Both of our dogs are rescue dogs, and we think Todd was probably a street dog at one time just because of the way he acts. But for him to be a street dog, maybe he just had his fair share of the outdoors when he was a street dog. It's like, I just don't want to be bothered with being outside. I've been there, done that. So that may be why he could care less about being outside. And then we have a cat. The cat uses the doggy door more than they do. She likes to get out and wander around. I don't think she gets too far from the house. I know she goes to the neighbor's yard and then back. But I think she uses the doggy door more than they do, the dogs. But that's her pets. But as I was saying, you know, it's a little rough sometimes to leave your pets at home longer than just 2 or 3 hours, especially when they act like they don't want you to leave. So that was my thing this morning, is leaving them when Todd was acting the way he was acting, because he really was not feeling me leaving. And I'm at this little country store I was talking about. So I am going to get off of here, go in here and get me a drink, and then hit the road and see what other kind of vlogging I can do for today. And I will talk to everybody later. Thanks for listening to me ramble this morning. Hey everyone. Dropped off mom, had lunch with mom and my sister and one of my nephews. Just dropped mom off at home. I'm stopping here at Dunkin' to get me a iced coffee for my road for the trip back home. I'm in Cookeville, Tennessee right now. I already went to college here. So I think I might just drive around here for a few minutes before I head out, just to see what all's changed. Looks like there's a lot of stuff that's came to town, different restaurants and businesses and whatnot from back when I went to school here back in the 90s. Cookeville's not a bad little town. Pulling up to the windows in just a moment. Hey.
It's just gonna make it $1.62.
All right. No, thank you. All right, thanks. All right. So let's drive around town for a minute. Pretty good iced coffee. I don't know if you guys have noticed that I usually go to Dunkin'. I rarely go to Starbucks. I'm not a Starbucks person. But you notice when you go to a different Dunkin' or to a different Starbucks, they always taste different. The drinks always taste a little different than, you know, the one that you typically go to. Sorry if it's bouncing all over the place. But I usually go to the same Dunkin' Donut that's by work. So 2 or 3 times a week, on my way into work, I'll grab a iced coffee from the same place, and it's usually good there. But you said you go to a different one, they always seem to taste different, and I've noticed that the prices are always a little different. In the town that I live in, the Dunkin' there's 2 Dunkins. The one Dunkin', it is so much more expensive at this particular Dunkin' for the same iced coffee as it is than the other one that's in my same town or any other one that I go to. Usually the iced coffee, I get a large iced coffee, and it is, I think, $2.73. That's with tax, and it's usually around that anywhere else I go, except for this one place, and it is like $1 more than all the rest of them. I have no idea why they think they are so much more special to charge that extra $1 for their drink, but they do. So, but we're gonna drive around Cookeville for a minute, see what all's going on in this town, see what all's changed, drive by the university, and if I get a second, I'm gonna turn the camera around and just let you drive around with me and see the town. So this is, I guess, what you would call the main street in Cookeville. If there's, I don't know if this street, I can't remember what the street is called, but I don't think it's Main Street. There's another street that will be going on that is called Main Street, but this is where, when you come into Cookeville, I guess, this is where you go. The road takes you into Cookeville, I guess I should say. I'm trying to get this camera to go just right, and it's, using my phone, so it's not exactly doing the way I want, but I guess that's good. So, not a whole lot has changed right here. Over by the Dunkin' I just came from, there's a few more restaurants over there. It used to be a mall here, and like a lot of towns that have had malls, the malls have closed down, or because they're now like outdoor shopping centers. So it's basically what has happened here. We'll go around to where the shopping area is for Cookeville now. And these roads aren't the best here, so this is bouncing all over the place. Again, I apologize for that. I'm using my phone. I really probably should get something better. But this is what I've got right now. So we're going to make a little turn, and we'll head towards campus of Tennessee Tech University, which is where I went to college at. This is kind of around where the square is. This car in front of me is super awesome. If you turn right at this light, that actually goes to the square. But like I did when I went to school here, use this little cut through to head towards campus. Church to the left and right. I think it's the same church. It's just they have just different buildings. As you see, Cookeville's a cute little town. It's a college town, so it's pretty diverse. With like most college towns, there is quite a bit of diversity. This is a nice little street too. There's a lot of nice older homes on this street. I always liked this street, but I was a poor college student and just dreamed of living in these houses one day, and then I realized Cookeville is not the place for me. So as soon as I was able to move away from Cookeville, I did. But now that I've gotten older, if I wanted to move back to a small town and close to my family, I would probably try to move to this street. I don't know what these houses cost now. I would think they wouldn't be terribly expensive, but especially compared to home prices in the Nashville, Tennessee area where Tommy and I live. So we are coming up on Tennessee Tech, coming up on the campus. This little building to the right here with the little white columns, that I don't know what it is now, but it used to be, when I went to school here, was a $1 movie theater, and they would have good movies there for $1, which was really good for, us college students who didn't have any money. So we are on campus now, and it's a nice campus. Over to the right, again, where those columns are, those are new dorms there. I think there used to be some other dorms there they burnt, or maybe they just tore down or something, but those are fairly new. To the left is I can't remember what the technical term is for it, but that's basically when you first come to campus, you go in there and meet all your instructors and whatnot. Orientation. It's also in the bottom part of that is where the restaurants and the cafeteria and whatnot are. So we'll make a left here and go around through campus some more. So, how's everybody been doing today? It's a beautiful day here in Tennessee. Yesterday was pretty nice, but for a few days before then, it was pretty yucky. It was rainy and just cloudy and just nasty, but past couple of days, it's been pretty nice here. It's a good day just to ride around. I like going on road trips, visiting family when the weather's nice outside. All right, so let's see. We are going to turn here. This building that you will see as soon as I turn in here is the fitness center area. There's an indoor pool there that when I took PE, I had to go there and check in and do swimming and whatnot for one of my PE classes. And if you didn't know, Tennessee Tech is home of the Golden Eagles. I'm not into sports. I don't know, that much about it. I just know it's Golden Eagles. Let's see. That open field that was right there straight ahead, it's a place where a lot of people will gather and play frisbee and football and whatnot when it's nice out. These buildings are just classrooms. This one right here to the left is the library. And straight ahead there, that is where the cafeteria and restaurants all are at. Some more classrooms to left and right. We'll be coming up on the dorms, which I stayed in. All in all, campus still looks pretty much the same. Looks like they're building new dorms, because I think this campus is really old. So we probably are replacing and some dorms and building new dorms. Because I think that where all that construction is at was just a big parking lot. Over to the right is dorms. I stayed in a couple of different of those dorms there. When one semester's over, you move out of one dorm, and then when you go back, they usually will put you in a different dorm or a different room. So that's campus there. It looks like all this down here on the right is also new, because that wasn't there. Tennessee Tech, I know it used to be when I went to school here, was a big nursing school too. I'm not really sure what goes on here now. I don't come to Cookeville that often. Passing through, my mom lives about 15 minutes from Cookeville, so I'll just pass through going to her little town that she lives in. So this is, I guess, another main street here in Cookeville. Can't see it, but there's the hospital to the left. There's not like a ton has changed on this end of town. Just a lot of new stuff on campus. But there's not a lot goes on here in Cookeville, Tennessee. You know, I said it seems like a lot has come in, but, you know, it doesn't really look like as much as I thought. Like I said, around the Duncan, there's several things around there. And then it looks like there's a few new things on campus. And then the little shopping area that we'll drive through. Like I said, there used to be a mall here, and it shut down. And there's some other businesses. I know some of them all turned into a Planet Fitness that I noticed when I was driving down the freeway. But there's still a few other businesses in there, but it's not really a mall anymore. In Murfreesboro, close to where I live, there's still a mall there, and it's a pretty active mall. There's still lots of shopping in that mall, but there is also a shopping center where they have outdoor shopping. Not outdoor shopping, but, you know, all the businesses have like their entrances outside to go into their business. It's not like a mall where everything is enclosed. And sorry, I got a little bit of sniffles. I know the flu is going around. I don't feel sick, but I got some sniffles going on. So sorry for that. But we are coming up on the little shopping center. I know this is probably boring, but I'm just trying to do some content for my channel. Trying to keep that New Year's resolution of making content for my channel. Giving the 25 subscribers that I have something to watch. Oh. I have my sunroof open too, so it sounds a little noise with cars driving by, that's why. It's too beautiful of a day not to have the sunroof open. So, we're going to turn into this shopping center. So, this is the little shopping center I was talking about. This restaurant to the right here they have really good sandwiches, or used to. It's been years since I've been here. Food Line, which you don't see too many food lines anymore. We do have one in the town that we live in that is usually where we do our grocery shopping, which I'm going to stop at when I get back to town. Got to get kitty litter, some cat food, some milk, a few other things. So this is what I was talking about the shopping center here. And something else I was wanting to check out while I'm here is that we are planning on getting a Tesla, and there should be some Tesla charging stations. I thought when I was doing some research, are somewhere here. Haven't seen them yet. Well, we might see if we can find those. But I thought they were here in this parking lot. There's Belk, which I always refer to as like the old people store. All your typical little shopping areas. Bath and Body Works. My sister loves that store. Rack Room Shoes, Hobby Lobby, which a few days ago we went to the Hobby Lobby in our town, and Tommy bought, I think it's a 7-foot Christmas tree, because all of their stuff was on sale. Christmas stuff was on sale for like $6. It was already discounted, and then they had like a 90% off or something like that, and got that tree for $6. Which Tommy thought it was going to be more like $30, but they got it for $6. Let's see. So this is it for this part of the shopping area. Across the way is some other shopping. There's a Kohl's over there. But I want to see if I can find these Tesla charging stations. I do not see any. They're usually at the end of the parking lot. Unless where I thought they were going to be is not in this particular shopping area. Because those Tesla charging stations kind of stick out. They're bright red and white. So I'm not seeing any. Oh, I see them now. Oh, nice, nice. They've got several of them too. So, if and when we get our Tesla, I come to visit, come over here, do a little shopping, maybe go eat. Charge the car a little bit. One of my favorite Teslas right there, the Model X. Straight ahead there. So, our Tesla charging stations here. Just pretty awesome. That Cookeville has charging stations. Actually, kind of happy about that. So I'm going to pull over and flip this back around and tell you a little story. So, the story I was going to tell you about is that, so anybody who's been watching my channel know the channel was primarily talking about mine and Tommy's journey to adoption, because that's why I started the channel, is to talk about our process, going through the adoption process. So so we're still doing that. We've inquired about several children. We've sent in paperwork for several children, and just so far haven't gotten picked for any of those kids. And so Tommy found this sibling group of 5 kids, ages from 1 to 8 years old. So he decided he wants to go for those kids. And there's that Model X. You can't see it, but looks like they just bought it because it has a temp tag. Super gel of them. Anyway, so he's inquired about those 5 kids. And from the experience we've had so far, probably not going to get those. And I don't know if... I don't know what's going on, why we haven't gotten any yet. Again, we've sent paperwork on several kids, and I hate to think that it's because we're a gay couple. I really hope that's not it. I mean, because there are many gay couples that have adopted kids, so I hope that just because we're here in Tennessee, people are not as open-minded, and that's why they're not giving us a chance on any of the kids that we've inquired about and sent paperwork in about. I hope that's not it. And but anyway, about those 5 kids, like I said, they range from age 1 to 8 years old, 2 girls and 3 boys. I'm nervous and scared about that. When we were taking our classes, they told us that sibling groups, especially big sibling groups, are they're hard to place, and they're hard to get adopted because most people just don't want that many kids at one time, or they just don't have the room for that many kids at one time, whatever the case may be. And I just think it's getting to the point where Tommy is just, he wants kids so bad, and then he wants to start a family so bad that now he's just like, we'll take anything that we can get. And we're going to love the kids no matter if it's 1 kid or if it's 5 kids. We're going to love the kids, but I just think it's to the point now where he is just like, I want to start our family, so if we have to take 5 kids to do it, then so be it. It worries me about taking 5 kids, especially 5 little kids, in all at one time. And I think a few months back, when we first started this, that their worker had called us to see if we would want to take them, because there is a total of 7 of them, and the worker had said it's just 5 of the kids. The other 2 siblings aren't in the equation. They do have contact. They all have contact with each other, but the other 2 are going to be adopted separately, I guess. Which is kind of sad that all of them can't go to the same home. But 7 siblings at one time, that's a lot for anybody to have to deal with. So, I don't know the whole situation with that, why the 2 are just being separate from the rest of them. But we think that their worker had called us a few months ago, because we remember the worker saying it's 5 siblings, aging from 1 up to, I think it's probably 8 at the time too, because it was just 2-3 months ago. So, and at the time, they were just wanting us to foster them. And Tommy had told her that we're not looking to foster, we are just looking to adopt. And she had told Tommy that they are eventually going to be up for adoption, but at the moment, they were just looking to place them in a foster home. And so Tommy said, no, that we're not interested in that, and especially not interested in that many. that we were starting in this and we were just not prepared, that we really only wanted two. Now, jumping forward to now, that we think those were the same kids that she had called us about that are now fully up for adoption. So we probably should have took them back when she called and asked if we wanted to foster them, so at least we would know by now how these kids are, how they act, what their personalities are, the temperament, all that stuff, and would know now if these are the kids that we want. And if they weren't, that they would still just be in foster care and they could just go to another foster home. Or we would just, hold on to them until an adoptive family come along if they weren't the right fit for us. But now that they're up for adoption, if we get picked for them, we're definitely not going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. We've already said we're not going to do that. We're going to make it work. Whatever kid comes to us, whatever kid God blesses us with, no matter how bad this kid is, and hopefully it won't be a bad kid, that we're going to deal with it. Because we're not going to take a kid in our home and this kid thinks that we're going to be his family, and then we just can't deal with it. And we may not be able to deal with it, but we're going to make it work somehow. And these rednecks and these loud trucks, I just don't understand it. But anyway, so 5 kids. Tommy has inquired about them. We haven't got any response about sending our home study in for these 5 kids. We may not even be asked, but if it is like what we learned in our classes, that sibling groups, especially sibling groups of this many, 5 of them, are harder to place, then they may call us and say, hey, you send your home study. We're definitely interested in you guys taking these kids. So, but if that happens, if we get picked and we take them, then Tommy wants me to quit work, which I have said that I would love to be a stay-at-home dad. But with 5, one of us would have to stay home, which would be me, because Tommy makes a whole lot more money than I make. So, and he's a professor at a university. He, that's just not a career that you can just walk away from. My job, I can walk away from it. What I will probably do is that my job will let me take some family leave. It'll be unpaid family leave, but they will let me take it. And then, so whenever I get ready to come back, my job title, my same salary will still be there. So that is probably what I would do. So if it looks like we can't do it financially with just one income, and I need to go back to work, then I will have a job to go back to, instead of just saying, hey, I quit, I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad. So that's the plan. Tommy said, well, we have 2 car payments right now, so he said we'll sell the cars. His we would sell. My lease will be up in, I guess, probably 10 months. So that we would just hold on to until the lease is up, and then just turn the car back in. And he says he would like for us just to buy 2 cars that we can buy and not have car payments on. And I'm totally fine with that. But I'm not driving a crappy car, which neither one of us would drive a crappy car. But I've had too many crappy cars in the past. I've just been, the past 5-6 years, been financially able to have a nice car and to be able to afford a nice car, and I want to continue having a nice car. And if we get 5 kids, we're going to need something that's 7 passengers. I'm not driving a van. I'm not driving a minivan. So we need an SUV that's a 7-passenger. So this goes back to the Tesla. I want a Tesla Model X. You can get those in a 7-passenger seating format, and which we had planned on getting around the first of the year. That didn't work out, so we are aiming for June to save up a little more money so we can put a bigger down payment towards one. So we have the goal of saving some money, and hopefully come June we can get the Tesla Model X. So unless we somehow get gifted, inherited, win $50,000-$60,000 just to go out and pay cash for a pre-owned Tesla Model X, we're gonna have to have payments on that one, and because he knows that's what I want. He, if I'm making sacrifices on us getting 5 kids, when I think two is the perfect number for us, but if he wants to go up more than that, then if I'm making that sacrifice, because we are big on compromising with each other in our relationship. We have a great relationship. We don't argue, we don't fuss, we don't fight. We obviously irritate each other sometimes, but we don't argue or fuss or fight or anything like that. If we have an issue, then we would discuss it with each other. We don't just let it get built up and like, I'm so mad at you type thing right now. We will discuss it. So that's what we've done with the whole kid situation. I'm like, if I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad basically for 3, 4, 5 kids, then I want the vehicle that I want to drive these kids around in, to take them back and forth to school, to take them to doctor's appointments, take them to activities, whatever the case may be. If I'm the one who's having to do all that and take care of them during the day while he's at school working, then I want a nice car to do it in. I don't want to be driving a minivan around and being an uncool dad. I'm not going to be an uncool dad. I want to roll up in my Tesla Model X with my 5 kids, open up those Falcon Wing doors, and look super cool, getting my 5 kids out of it. It's a little shallow, a little vain, but that's just the way I want it to be. So, and giving up my job, even though it's a job, it's a career. I make pretty decent money. I have a really good work schedule and can come and go basically as I please, work when I want to work. I'm on salary, so I don't have to work 40 hours. As long as I work at least 32 hours, I get my salary. So that's pretty good. But if I'm going to just be a stay-at-home dad and not have my own income coming in, then I want what I want. So, and Tommy understands that. Again, we're big on compromising, so that we're compromising on that, hopefully. And it may not be a Model X that we get, but it's going to be something that I'm going to want to drive. So, but that's the story of the adoption thing. Showed you around Cookeville, where I went to school at. I guess I'm going to hit the road and head back home. I go back to where I've been on vacation since the 28th of December. Today is the 6th of December, so I'll go back to work tomorrow. Fun. So, wish me luck, wish us luck on this whole adoption thing. It's been several months now when we completed our classes and got approved and whatnot, and we really thought that we would have a kid by now, and we don't, and haven't had even close chances of getting a kid. So wish us luck, send us good vibes, pray for us that 2020 is going to be the year that we finally get to start our family. And if it's those 5 kids, definitely pray for us. Because kids are a new thing for us in general. And to start a family out with 5, we're going to need the prayers. So, everyone, thanks for watching. And I'm going to hit the road and go back home. I've got an hour and a half, I guess. Maybe not that long. But I'm going to hit the road back home. And until next time, thanks again, guys.